The ASA Tour in Appling, Georgia is brought to you by T.R.U Archery and Axel Sights and Scopes, by Shrewd Archery, by Matthews, and PSE Archery.
All right, welcome back to Wildwood Park in Appling, Georgia, as we get set for our final category, the T.R.U and Vortex Pro-Am.
And welcome to the final shoot-off for this afternoon, the known pro division. Your fifth place qualifier from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, shooting for elite with a .438 and 23 bonus rings, Chance Bobeth. Your number 4 qualifier shooting a .442 with 24 bonus rings, shooting for Matthews from Ellenton, Florida, Jesse Broadwater. Your number 3 qualifier, a .444 with 26 bonus rings, from Morgantown, West Virginia, shooting for elite, Garrett Ayersman. And your number 2 qualifier, also with a .444, but 27 bonus rings, shooting for Matthews, from Millbrook, Alabama, Robert Householder. And your number 1 qualifier, a .448 with 26 bonus rings, shooting for Matthews, from Athens, Ontario, Chris Perkins.
All right, our tightest spread of any class we have here, only 10 points of difference now. Nathan Brooks, we do things a little different here in Known Pro. For this one, explain what's going on.
All right, so the way that we're going to shoot this is each archer has 40 seconds to shoot their arrow. And the way they're arranged is you have number 1 on target number 1, and then your number 1 qualifier on target number 1, and then your number 2 qualifier is on target number 5, and the number 3 qualifier on number 3, or I'm sorry, number 4, and Jesse Broadwater, which is number 4 qualifier on target number 3, and Chance is on number 2, which he's our number 5 qualifier. So what's going to happen is ultimately, as this is all done.
Oh, Perkins with a 14.
Look at that. Awesome.
Go ahead.
So as this is all done, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will actually finish on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason for that is they're wanting to be able to put the qualifiers in that order to be able to allow them to see what their best opportunity is for the shot. So we'll see how this goes. That only plays out really well, though, if the shooters shoot really tight and close throughout the whole match. So anyway, it's just a little different format. What I like about this is it's so easy to follow each shot right now.
40 seconds on the clock. Your clock starts the moment that the archer in front of you's arrow impacts the target. And so then Householder there had 40 seconds to execute that shot after Garrett Ayersman's arrow hit the target. So now we're going to score. And what will happen ultimately is what you're saying is that's what you call smoking it.
That's almost clock hands right in the middle.
So Christopher Perkins adds 14 to his tally.
A.
Which also means that unless everyone shot 14s, he's going to pull away from the competition.
So Chance Bobeth on the turkey just let off right off the bat with a shooting at a 14. Also barely missed it right over the top for an 8.
All right, so
and we know that turkey is 43 yards, correct?
Yeah, we do. Yep.
good look at Jesse Broadwater's little X10 arrow, and that's an interesting choice.
It is an interesting choice. So Jesse Broadwater, by the way, this is his first appearance in the shoot down for 2019. That is the setup that he had in Reading. He pulled his 3D bow out. He was limited in time, and he just said it wasn't feeling as good as the setup he has, so he made the choice at the last minute to just grab those X10s and come on down here with that setup. And obviously, you know, it may be something he sticks with at this point because it's his first appearance in the shoot down.
Let's just talk about that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever hits the middle of the best is what you're going to shoot the best with.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter how big that arrow is or how small it is. You know, one might say, well, he would have shot 10 points higher if he'd had a larger arrow. But those shots, man, those arrows may not have landed as well because it may not have been as forgiving for him. So.
And of course, with the experience, obviously, and how great Jesse Broadwater is as a shooter, you have to imagine he's dialed in on his program home. He knows exactly how it felt. And so that's what he did. He just said, I think I can hit more with these skinny arrows and don't need to pull as many lines. So
We see a change in second place at the moment. Again, this is all relative to how these archers are shooting these targets,
right?
Because Perkins leads off on the shortest one of the day, and so
now Robert Householder, who's in target position number 1, he's our second qualifier. So you can see now as we move through, and target 1 always goes first. So by the time we get to the 5th arrow, Perkins is going to be the last shot.
14.
And yeah, Householder smokes it. Man, he started the day so strong on the range. Here's Perkins. Came in with 26 12s, as did Garrett Ayresman, so he goes
low 12.
Good
play on that turkey. It's hard to see.
Chance Bobev told us unexpectedly he found himself in this shoot down. He didn't expect it after yesterday's performance, but he was really able to settle into his equipment and had a great day.
Just a little high there for Chance. He seems to be shooting just a touch hot. Yeah, he shot. He was 4 up after the first 12 targets yesterday. Just 4 up and finished at 20. So he hit his last 8 12s in a row to have that kind of round.
Broadwater's looked like it was a 10. Now here's Ayresman.
Good looking shot by Garrett, just over that low 12.
Going for it. Of course, Garrett Ayresman out of Morgantown, West Virginia.
Robert Householder is, I'm telling you, the guy has just been shooting on fire since, well, really all year.
But but the beginning of the year when we showed up, it was like his name just kept popping up and popping up. All right, so Christopher Perkins was, of course, for this year was our Foley winner, and then we had Dane Johnson, really good young man, take the win in Fort Benning, and then the last time we were shooting it was Jacob Marlowe. What a great performance. Howling Wolf, there was an attempt at a 14. We don't think it's a 14 from where we're standing, but we've been wrong before from the booth. I think that one's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Out, pretty safely out.
Is it 8 or a 5? That's the question.
That's the question, yeah.
Looks like an 8 to me. I'm not.
Let's talk about pulling lines,
close.
Nathan. When we talk about pulling lines, what does that mean?
Well, okay, you're dealing with a foam target.
That's an 8. They call it an 8.
And all you have to do is touch the line. Well, sometimes that line, because it's a foam target and it's made to look like an animal, it has what we call hairlines in it. Well, it's not actually a hair, but it's meant to look like hair. And so sometimes those lines will look like the hair lines, the mold lines. And so that gets really difficult sometimes to call exactly which one is which. When those arrows hit those targets and they pull those lines, because the foam is soft, and these are big arrows for the most part, they can pull that line. See the depth of that line right there? That was a good shot because you could see the depth of the line, how it's molded into the target. So a line has an outside edge and an inside edge, and on those particular rolls that you're talking about, it's grabbing that foam and it's rolling that line back towards the arrow. So sometimes what is a perfect circle doesn't wind up being a perfect circle.
So you pull that line and generally you get the higher point value. All right, here's Garrett Ayresman, who of course basically grew up in an archery shop. His dad owns that shop in Morgantown.
Shooting a Victory 37. or actually it's a Victory X. Oh, just off to the right on the tape here.
He's been prone to that all weekend, actually. Some very weird left-rights for Garrett. I know he's going to go back and take a look at his setup. Is that under?
Come up just probably just short on that turkey. Good look at Perkins there with his true ball release. That should be it. That's right at the bottom, I think.
Not the crispest release I've seen from him, so it doesn't look like when his release went off that was exactly the spot. Here's legend Chance Bobeth, our 2017 Shooter of the Year.
That's the Easton Super Drive 25. Just under that 14. That's I hate the javelina. I'm just going to tell you, Greg, I hate it.
I hear that a lot.
Ugh.
There's Broadwater. Safety play.
I don't know if that's going to hang. That little arrow may not be touching that 10 line. That's close. Little right.
Looking for a 14 in the taper. It looks like it's a little out to the right, and that's going to score an 8.
You know, I didn't feel any wind just then, but you know, that is open a little bit different out there. There might have been a little bit of wind coming across. Obviously, we see Jesse shot to the right, Garrett shot to the right. I don't really know, but
well, from our vantage point, as we continue to look at these targets as they get scored, we can actually see the lake. And you know, someone who's sailed most of his life, there's different wind blowing different parts of the lake, so we can see in a weird way it's a little gusty, and so that can get us at any moment.
Yeah.
And that can just be the luck of the draw. That looks like a 12.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah. So Perkins
putting some distance between himself and everyone else.
Bit of a drive down from Canada. He's an avid rifle shooter as well, likes to compete in rifle competitions as Perkins.
Shoots shotgun pretty well too.
Maybe with this one he'll get himself a new.
There's a look at Jesse's arrow.
Yeah.
Just out to the right. I think that's going to be an 8.
How often do you see in this class 888? You can see where it says on the top of the name their last arrow shot. 4 8s and a 12. We just do not see that in this class very often, especially at this level in the shoot down. So more distance that Christopher Perkins has put himself and the rest of this field. All right, so another round like this, we're not going to have to go to a 6th arrow.
No, Chris is definitely, as you said, putting that distance between him and the rest of the field. Now the difference is Chris is just now getting over to. He's on target number 4, so now he's actually getting into the longer, those 249-yard targets that he was talking about before.
So if you're Perkins, you get conservative on this one, or you just try to put the rest of the field away?
You know, it's a javelina. Myself,
your favorite.
I'm going to try and hit the top of the 12, but that's really about it because it's so hard to see. And we got a good look at Jesse here shooting this taper. I just expect this to be a 14.
Oh, yeah. A little hot.
Whoop.
It's all right.
Arrow come off.
Garrett's always funny like that. He just does it with a D-loop instead of his finger like a lot of people do.
40 seconds to shoot, so, you know, you don't want to let down if you don't have to. Just over it.
The 12.
That's what it looks like anyway.
That bottom ring is that 12 in play unless you call the upper.
Robert's shot is really quick, typically.
Got it. What a shot.
Definitely needed that.
Here's our leader.
Shooting Super Drive, Easton Super Drive 25s as well. He's got the new pro points in there. See how long?
Yeah, right. That 12 right there.
Top of the 12. Perfect. Played that just perfect.
So that should keep it at 10 with Householder.
Chance is shooting hot. He's just shooting high. He shot high on everything he shot. I don't know if this lighting is a little different or something that may be causing him to get those high arrows.
No question for Broadwater. As you can see that small mark from that extent. A 14 for Jesse.
Look like a 22 bullet hole or something.
Broadwater out of Ellington, Florida. Asked about his competition highlights. He said a few wins, a few podiums. Shooter of the year 2016. That's typical Broadwater, isn't it?
Yeah,
Shot a
look at
little.
that. Now, that face is I won Vegas, or I just hit a 14, or I completely missed the target. It's the exact
same face.
Yeah, it
It
never
might
changes.
even be what's for dinner.
Yeah, that's probably more what he's thinking about. He's such a big fella, you know. He's always thinking about dinner.
How about that 14, huh? All right, so we go to Perkins on the Javelina. As we now know, Nathan Brooks' favorite target. We're going to get one of those bronzed for your office at home. 12.
My friend Chris Hacker and I was talking about that today. We really need a full target range of just javelinas to practice on.
So Householder now will be 98 to 90, so he's closed within 8. So that's really what he was looking for. He's just looking to keep this one alive. But we have one more arrow left in regulation. As now, the way we started this thing, Chris Perkins moves over to target number 5, so he'll be our last shooter. So first up is going to be Chance Bobeff on target number 1. He'll have 40 seconds to shoot, arrow impact, then it's going to be to Jesse Broadwater, then we're going to go to Garrett Ayersman, and it's going to be Householder, who I just saw through my own eyes. Householder has called upper.
So this is what we were talking about at the beginning. This gives your leader the best opportunity to figure out what he needs to do if he remained in the lead. And obviously, Chris has stayed in the lead this whole time. So
Great solid shot as we expect from Chance on the taper. Just a 28-yard poke down the range.
So this has got implications for final arrow for Broadwater. And that's a 12, so that's
a great shot.
That will probably get him one more arrow.
If Ayersman drills a 14, we went for it.
May have it. I can't tell from this angle.
All right, so we know that Robert Householder called upper on this one, so that's what we're looking for, upper 12, unless he's gunning for a 14.
If he shoots a 10, we got possibly three guys. That's a 10. So we got possibly 3 guys tied for second place.
And then there's this guy.
I'm sorry. 2 guys tied at second place.
Did he get that 12?
Oh, yeah, that's solid.
He drill that
He
12.
smoked it.
Perkins knows how to play this game. So there's our first one, Chance Bobeff in with a 14.
Dead center.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a worn-out 14 ring.
It is. Got easy to shoot probably there towards the end. So many holes there. It's just Jesse's good 12.
12 on the turkey. Confirmation, we saw that. Were those skinny arrows paying off for Broadwater? Let's see, what's for dinner? Should I get water, do you think, when they ask me?
So if he gets this 14, he'll be 2 points behind Broadwater. My math skills wasn't working just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you're right. It should be sitting there at 98.
That's close. I don't know.
Got it. So he'll go to 98, but because Perkins is 12, that's going to put Ayersman out of range.
Yes. Yeah.
I think. There's a little math for you. Yeah, that'll do it. Should be 12 points.
Yeah.
So it should be Robert's going to go for the 10. So now it's Jesse Broadwater coming up from 4th to tie for 2nd spot at the moment. We tied with Householder for 500 apiece. Perkins with his 12. It's going to move him up to 510. So he was trying to close the door, but it's going to be open. So we're going to go for another arrow.
Perkins hit a ring, a bonus ring every shot that round. I mean, for somebody to beat him
Mm-hmm.
in that 5-target shoot-off there, they would have had at least 2 or 3 14s to catch him.
And how we determine who's going to shoot first with this tie for second place between Broadwater and Householder is going to be on their 12s, on their bonus rings. So it looks like Householder's got one more than Jesse. So we believe Broadwater's going to lead us off. They're going to move the target out. They're going to place that HD. Don is...
You can't fool them on the yardage.
Let's see, what target are they going to go for?
Don's on his way up here to set this 6th and final target for these guys.
He's got his trusty rangefinder in hand. All right, so let's see what Don's going to do. Is he going to make this one? Because he can place them where he wants. I mean, they're going to probably go to the ASA logo, which is what? A couple yards behind where they've been shooting?
Yeah, about 3, maybe 4.
But he's standing in... Where is he standing?
He went off to the side of the number 5.
Oh, and
shooting location.
he's looking for a whole new place, I think. Yeah. They're not going to go to the same spot where they had been going, the same area where they went for the other classes.
Well, if he's thinking
Oh,
about
I see what they're doing. All right, they're going to the turkey, so they're not even going to move it. So they're going for the turkey. So the turkey's in play.
Now, see, I'm looking downrange here, and see those leaves?
Mm-hmm.
Those leaves are moving around a little bit, so probably not going to affect that X10 at all. Yeah, it's slowed down a little bit. It ain't moving much there at the target, though.
Yeah, but if I'm these shooters, I'm also taking a glance out at the water, just kind of giving a look to see how that breeze is going. All right, so you have to say advantage is going to be Broadwater if there is a breeze, because he's shooting those smaller arrows, those skinny Easton X10s. So Broadwater leads us off. He's tied with Householder for second spot at the moment.
48-yard turkey is what he just announced. And from this angle, it looks like that turkey's got sun splotches all over it. So I tell you what difficulty that adds.
Yeah.
When the wind is blowing, the reason why there's sun splotches on it is because there's a tree in front of it and the shadows are coming down. So as the wind blows, those shadows change. That becomes difficult to aim.
Broadwater with that 2-finger release is going to set the benchmark for Householder and Perkins. He lets it fly just to the left of the 12 ring.
Super close.
I wonder if he might have tried maybe what you were thinking, maybe a little wind correction. Thought the wind was moving left to right.
Could have been thinking about that.
Okay.
You know, just my guess is the way the sun was on that target, it was just hard to see.
It's going to be the same thing for Householder, although there's clouds in the area, the sun still moves, and it's amazing how 2 or 3 minutes can make a difference when you have shadows on a target downrange. Hillbrook, Alabama's Robert Householder.
Good looking. Robert. Got it.
Wow.
12.
What a shot. The crowd erupts in applause for Householder. All right, so now the situation is, because of that, looks like that 12, we'll get confirmation in a moment. Score goes up in the air. From our position, it is a 12, so now Householder clear of Jesse Broadwater for second spot. And if Perkins has a misstep here, if for some reason, I mean, it's known, so we know, I'm just saying.
It's happened.
It's happened. A 5 from Perkins means Householder will win this one.
You know, there's been times where a release is misfired, or a string is broke, or something's happened, like shooting a cameraman.
Yeah. There was one of our camera guys, Chuck, was just walking right across, and so that's what you saw with Chris having to let down. He won't mind. That won't make a difference to him. 10 for the win. Boom,
Dead
right
center.
in the middle.
Yep.
No
perfect.
question about it. So for Christopher Perkins, that 10 is going to secure him as a True Ball and Vortex Pro-Am champ for this 2019 shoot here at Wildwood Park in Appling, Georgia. And Christopher Perkins is going to be our, there were no repeat winners in Known Pro in all of 2018. So this is the first time we've had a repeat winner since sometime in 2017. And this class is so competitive. So he wins Foley, and he wins now. And he's with PJ. Let's get to him.
Chris Perkins, you went for your last arrow was the only one that wasn't a bonus ring.
Yeah, just at that point, just center 10. I went hard at it, but I added a couple clicks to it, so I didn't shoot it at the bottom and kind of looked like a putz. But that shoot-off went well. I mean, I certainly can't complain. All bonus rings and all 5 targets, and it felt good.
Yeah, tough scores today. I mean, there was a lot of people packed in Known Pro up towards the top. Tell me about that competition out there today.
I mean, it's always like that every weekend here. We've got a great group of guys that can shoot, awesome every weekend. It's just a matter of putting 2 really good days together, and just kind of keeping your head in it. We had 2 great, phenomenal courses this weekend. Nothing was really gimmies, so it was a good weekend.
All right, Chris, congratulations on a great win.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so there it is. Nathan Brooks Perkins comes in as the lead, 48 up, and closes it off to be the champ. We're going to take a break. On the other side of this, we're going to wrap things up. The 2019 Mackenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour here at the True Ball and Vortex Pro-Am from Wildwood Park in Appling, Georgia. So don't go anywhere.
Get in the red zone. Carbon Express's small diameter Maxima Red SD, taking big game hunting to an all-new level, making other competitors' single spine arrows obsolete. Patented tri-spine technology controls arrow flight, delivering better downrange energy and accuracy, all in a small diameter shaft. Think you're shooting the best hunting arrow in the game? Think again. Stay in the red zone. Assume nothing and shoot Carbon Express.
We don't build these bows to be different. We build them to be better. We're the outsiders, the Mavericks.
The ASA Tour in Appling, Georgia, the heart of Columbia County, is brought to you by Specialty Archery Products, by Carbon Express Arrows, and by Elite Archery.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast area. I'm Greg White, sitting with Nathan Brooks. Nathan, put a wrap on this day. What did you think about all the different classes we had and the great shooting that we saw and the difficulty of this shoot-down final area?
Oh, well, again, they put together a great tournament here in Appling, Georgia, and just awesome rounds there. I'm still excited watching this last round. Obviously disappointed I'm not out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I enjoy watching these guys have success. And so many of these guys that I've been around the rest of all of my life, and see them succeed and do well, it always puts a smile on my face when they do well. So.
Yeah, and for the classes that we had in here, the Women's Pro was a repeat winner and Senior Pro repeat winner, first-time winner for 2019 specifically in the Open Pro class, and of course Christopher Perkins winning again in Known Pro this year. So, it's going to be interesting to see when the Shooter of the Year numbers come out to how things are starting to sort themselves out, because in terms of regular season scoring for Shooter of the Year, we have one more left before we get to that final round that automatically counts. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the paperwork when it's done here coming up in a few days.
Yeah, and don't think for a second that these shooters aren't looking forward to seeing that as well. So it'll definitely take a big spin, and now is the time when these guys that are winning right now and shooting really well, they're going to really put their nose to the grindstone and work even harder and harder and harder.
All right, well, that'll do it for us here. Thank you so much for joining our coverage. We appreciate you stopping by and taking a visit. So, the 2019 T.R.U and Vortex Pro-Am from Wildwood Park here in Appling, Georgia is done and dusted. For Nathan Brooks and our entire camp crew, thanks for joining us. I'm Greg White, and we'll see you next time when we're in London, Kentucky, June 22nd. See ya.